Hi, this is Michael Talis with the Talis team. And today we're going to talk about first-time homebuyer programs. Bay Area generally has a affordability issue, especially for people who are just starting their careers, people who just move in, and people in some occupations that are not like high-tech, teachers, for example. So for people like that, both state and counties are trying to help. And there is a wide variety of first-time homebuyer programs. And today I'm sitting down with my colleague. She's a lender, Sue Baker-Dirickson. She has a lot of experience working with first-time homebuyer programs, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So, Sue, who are you and what are you doing?
Hello, Michael. As you said, I'm Sue Baker-Dirickson. I work for Guaranteed Rate Affinity. I'm a mortgage lender. I've been in the business for 37 years.
Well, so it's not your first rodeo.
Not at all.
Uh, I'm getting a lot of questions about a program called California Dream for All. And it seems like there are some deadlines and that are critical, especially this year. So, Sue, tell us what this program is about and how people would apply for it.
Okay. California Dream for All program is a first-time homebuyer program. We are right now getting people pre-approved so that when the state opens up the application window for applications to be submitted, we have to submit a full pre-approval from a lender. These people need to take 2 first-time homebuyer program classes. And then what we do is we go into a lottery.
Oh, wow.
So how the state has decided to administer it this year, which is much different than last year, they're dividing the state into 8 geographic areas. And each area will be allotted a certain percentage of the funding. They're trying to spread it out evenly this year. Last time it was very lopsided. So they'll be collecting applications for a period of time. We're not exactly sure how long that is yet.
Do you know when it starts?
Well, they told us the window will open in April, but we don't have a date yet. So
I guess it's April 15th, right?
yeah, with taxes, we don't know. And apparently the window will be open for at least a few weeks this time.
Okay.
And they'll give us a cutoff date when they initially roll out the application. And then they will actually just draw from a lottery, and you will get then a reservation number, which gives you 90 days to get into contract to buy a home.
Oh, wow. So it's a limited time to
It
apply
is.
and limited time to purchase.
Correct. Much different though than it was last year. So hopefully, this will help. If at that point in time things expire and there are additional funding, they haven't told us what they're going to do. Our guess is that they probably would do another lottery.
Another lottery.
Yeah.
So what are the benefits of the program? Like, is there a better interest rate or down payment size?
Okay, so the California Dream for All program is a second mortgage.
Okay.
But the first mortgage is provided by Cal HFA. So they provide the loan. We are an approved lender with Cal HFA, and they have both conventional loan options and FHA loan options for the first mortgage. The California Dream for All is actually the second mortgage,
Okay.
and it will provide down payment assistance of up to 20% with a maximum dollar limit of $150,000.
150,000. So for the Bay Area, in percentages, if you're looking at median home sale price here in Santa Clara, San Mateo County, around 1.5 million, so it's about 10%.
Well, except that we're restricted to conforming loan amounts on the
Got
first,
it.
right? So depending what county you're in, the conforming loan limits vary. In the Bay Area, we're in a high cost area, so the conforming loan limit goes up as high as $1,149,825.
Okay.
So that's for the first loan.
And that's the loan, not the purchase price.
That's right.
So with the down payment, we're looking at roughly 1.2-ish.
Yeah, at this point, if you get into those higher price points, you do have to have a down payment. The thing is, we also have income limitations.
Okay.
So in the Bay Area, the counties, and it does vary, it's not like all Bay Area counties have the same. Santa Clara County, it's $300,000. Some of them is for total combined income for a household.
For the household, and everything counts, right?
Everything counts. In addition to that, they've added one other requirement for Dream for All this year, is that one of the home buyers needs to be a first-time buyer in their family.
Oh,
So
their
parents,
family.
yes, their parents, one of the parents could not have been a homeowner previous.
Huh, interesting. So we're dealing here in the Bay Area with a lot of immigrants. How does that work if they own a house in, I don't know, India or
It
China?
only counts if they owned it in the U.S.
Okay.
So
So
first generation homeowner in the United States.
it's not a limitation that the parents were not present in the United
No,
States.
no.
Okay. And today, what kind of interest rates are we looking at?
It is a dynamic picture, but right now with where the interest rates are, I checked them today, we're at 7% at one point.
Okay.
They don't offer 0-point
conventional.
loans for conventional loans. Right.
Got it. 7%. So interest rates are on the rise.
They are, and that is actually fairly low when you consider most of these loans are small down payment loans. So in a conventional loan environment, the rate would be higher the less down payment you make.
Got it. So this down payment assistance loan, what kind of interest are they going to charge on it?
Okay, so they're not charging you interest. You're going to pay a portion of your equity at the time you sell. Okay. So let's just do an example. You bought something for $750,000,
okay,
and you got 20% from the California Dream for All program. That's a $150,000 loan. So when you sell that home, whenever that might be, you're going to pay back the $150,000 plus 20% of your equity.
Plus 20% of your equity.
Right.
Got it. So basically proportional to the percentage of down payment.
Correct. Yes.
Got it. So is there any way to prepay it if you're planning to own this home forever?
Yes, there is. But what happens at that time, you contact Dream for All. They will give you a list of approved appraisers. You need to have an appraisal done. And then they're going to determine what the value of the property is at that time. And then they will get their proportion of the equity on top of whatever the original loan amount was.
And there is no way to pay it in installments?
No.
So I
There's
get
no payments required on that. They're not accepting monthly payments or.
Right, but you cannot pay, kind of repay it in installments, even if.
No.
Interesting. Yeah, that's tough. You have to have a lump sum.
You do.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it may work for some people, especially with the startup culture here in the Bay Area.
True. What I always been trying to do with the people that I've been working with so far is we want to always, if they're insistent on they want to do this, let's work it up. Let's see that we could work. When the window opens to getting your application, we'll do that. But let's have plan B, because there's going to be limited amount of funding available.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to ask. What if you don't get it?
Right. So that's why when I'm doing it for people, what I've been doing is, okay, if we get this, here's what we can do. If we don't, maybe we could do a program where they can make a 5% down payment.
Okay.
Every county also has additional, their own different programs in addition to this. And so depending where you are, there might be other, first-time homebuyer programs that will give you down payment assistance as well.
Right. So right now we're sitting in Santa Clara County. So if you're in Santa Clara County, what would be my options if I need to buy a home today?
So the other down payment assistance program that we have available in Santa Clara County is a program called Empower. Empower works identically the same. However, they will do a loan amount of up to $250,000 and 30% of the mortgage. So they will do a larger one. However, their income requirements are lower. Okay. And the income requirements on Empower vary depending upon how many members in the household. So if you have a husband and wife and 2 children, that's 4. You're going to be allowed a lot more income than if you're a single individual.
For Santa Clara County, do you have to be a resident here or work here? What puts you in Santa Clara County as an eligible applicant?
You have to be one or the other, either currently working or living in Santa Clara County. The one good thing about Empower, they have funding available now, and they anticipate having funding through 2025.
Wow. So for a while. And if you're in Santa Clara County applying for this program, you need to buy in Santa Clara County.
Yes. Yes.
So you geographically cannot, if you are thinking about something on the border of Santa Clara, San Mateo counties, you still need to stay in.
You need to stay in Santa Clara County.
Anything specific for San Mateo County or Alameda County?
San Mateo County does have a program. It's called HEART. I'm not real familiar with it because it is administered strictly by Mary West Credit Union. So
Okay.
you'd have to go directly to them. I was searching for programs at Alameda County, and it seems as though every city has a little bit of a different program. And a lot of them are just BMR programs, below market rate programs. So those are resale properties, not necessarily a particular program. I didn't see anything specific at this time.
But BMR is completely different type of a program. Right. You need to qualify, and you're buying at below market rate. That's right. Where the name comes from. And you cannot resell this property on open market. You still have sell it through the same BMR program, kind of pass it along to the next generation of people with this kind of Goldilocks income, high enough to qualify, but low enough to also to qualify for the program.
They record a deed restriction. So it restricts the fact that you have to sell to someone, like you said, that meets that criteria.
Right. So they have the first right of refusal to purchase it if you decide to sell or you need to move out. In our area, any cities have programs that are helping first-time home buyers?
I don't see any city-specific programs right now in Santa Clara County. We just have that one that's administered by the county.
Got it. Some people also look at FHA programs as a way to help first-time home buyers. Right. So tell us what FHA can do in order to help people buy, and what are the rules for this type of programs?
Okay, so FHA loans their underwriting criteria is fairly flexible. You can buy using an FHA loan with as little as 3.5% down payment up to whatever the county limit is for conforming loans in the area. They're flexible underwriting in the way that they're more flexible with credit scores. They allow some higher debt to income ratios. The one thing that makes it a little more challenging to work with FHA is if you're buying a condominium.
Okay.
Because the project needs to be on the FHA approved condominium list to purchase. So it's one other thing you have to watch when you're making offers. And honestly, right now, the list keeps shrinking because FHA only approves for a 2-year window. And then the project needs to update and reapply. And I find that a lot of the homeowners associations just don't keep that paperwork up.
They just don't want to deal with that. And that's a federal program. The name is Federal Housing Administration, right? So if you are interested in this type of programs, Sue can help you with that.
We also have VA loans. For those few people that we have that are veterans, they can get in with 0 down payment.
Oh. Just from my understanding, how many FHA or VA loans are you dealing with typically annually? Is it common or pretty rare?
It's right now it's pretty rare in our area, but a few years back I was doing a large portion of FHA loans. But at this point, we don't do them that often.
Is it because of the income level of the applicants, or?
There's no income restriction.
Okay.
But you can do a conventional loan with 3% down. And then you don't have to worry about the condo project approval like you do it being on a list. It has to meet, guidelines, but it doesn't have to be on a specific list. So it's easier quite often to find a property conventional with 3% down than trying to go FHA, unless there's a specific reason that necessitates the use of FHA.
So what would be an advantage of using FHA in this specific case?
It's usually people with challenged credit scores.
Got it.
Okay.
So if you have a low credit score, I guess that's one
or
of the
a fairly recent bankruptcy, they'll take those much quicker than a conventional lender would.
Got it. Well, and let's talk about the elephant in the room. The interest rates are rising again. Do you have a crystal ball? What should we expect?
I don't have a crystal ball, and everyone that did, I think it's broke.
Well, I hear from different sources. One set of analysts are saying that the interest rate should stay in 6.5–7% range, at least till the end of the year. And then I listened to another set of analysts, and they said that we should be around 5.5% by this summer.
Very different opinions, right? At this point, we're just getting too much strong economic information. And so the Fed's not feeling pressured to have to drop the interest rates. So it's looking like we probably won't see anything before summer, is the guess at this point. And it's not as much as the market was anticipating. I have to say that the Feds have been telling us pretty much what they're going to do, and it's not what the market wanted to hear.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. Job data is too good.
Yes.
But it's not as good for the home buyers. That's what I was telling everybody, that general economic recession is not the same as housing recession.
Right.
So we may get kind of a housing downturn, or maybe we already had it in last year when the prices
Could have been.
In some areas, in some cities in the Bay Area, were going down a little. That recession may be behind us, and some economists are saying that the recession should happen sometime around the end of this calendar year. I mean, economic recession, but
right. Who knows?
Yeah.
I still believe that trying to time the market is probably not a good decision. If rates drop, you can always refinance. And pretty much what you and I know, and being in the industry for so long, is that when the rates come down, more buyers will be out in the marketplace. And that quite often will cause the prices to rise. Even if it means you buy at a higher rate, but a lower price, you're going to be better off in the long run.
That's correct. Yeah, today's price may be the lowest you'll ever see.
True.
Scary thought, because everybody's thinking that the prices are astronomical and out of whack with the reality. But that's the problem with the Bay Area. We're landlocked. There is no space to develop more housing, or very limited opportunities, mostly in San Jose area or East Bay, Fremont, Morgan Hill. Most of Peninsula is built up, and there is very, very little land that potentially can be converted into housing. Hopefully, the cities will get more flexible and we can go higher into high
I think we're
rises.
starting to see that.
Right, but it's very difficult. A lot of communities are up in arms. They don't want to see high-rise next to their single-family homes.
Yeah.
And everybody's concerned about traffic and schools and cost of living. If buyers want to apply for this type of first-time homebuyer programs, should they go to you, or they should go directly to the authorities who are administering the program?
They need to start by placing an application with an approved lender. So yes, they can start with me, place their application. I need to have the loan approved before they can submit for all of these programs.
Including California program,
California and Cal HFA Dream for All or Empower both require that the loan be approved before you submit your application. They also require home buyer education, and it's important to know which program you're going to use because they have different education program requirements for each program.
So you can do bachelor, master's, and PhD.
There you go. In first-time homebuyer, yes.
Right. It's for different levels of approval. So, from my understanding, it looks like these programs are similar to old-time 80-10-10 programs, right? When you have like 80% first mortgage, 10% second mortgage, and 10% down payment.
Right. It is a layering, but some of these loans you can actually do with no down payment.
So the full down payment will be coming from the down payment
second
assistance
mortgage.
from the second loan.
Right.
Got it. And one more question. How about the closing costs? And it's different for different counties. In San Mateo County, a buyer pays title and escrow fees. In Santa Clara County, it's seller pays, but buyer still pays for title insurance for the lender.
Yes.
So there are still closing costs. They're just different in the amount.
Right.
Where the money's coming from.
Okay, so if you're in a situation where we've structured one of these loan programs for you, where we're doing 100% financing, so we do a first loan for 80% and 20% from one of these second mortgage programs, you still then have to be able to have the cash to pay your closing costs. We cannot take it above 100% on these particular programs. So you can't go in with no money on these programs.
Got it. And typical closing cost is about what? Around 10, 15 grand?
About that, yes.
Roughly.
Yes, that's a good number.
And are there any requirements for the reserves for the loans?
Most of these do not require more than 1 month cash reserve.
So even if the first mortgage does require more than 1 month?
If the first mortgage requires it, then yes, but most of these programs don't. And even if it did, probably it wouldn't be more than 3%.
3% of the purchase price.
Correct.
If you are ready to apply for programs like that, and my understanding is there is a deadline specifically for California Dream for All program, it's coming up. The contact information for Sue will be in the description of this video, and my information is also down there in the description. Feel free to contact us with any questions, and would love to connect with you. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.